helps a little. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Intuitive Readings by Darcy. I'm Darcy. I am a psychic medium, and I have been doing readings for 20 plus years. And in case you weren't on Tuesday or Wednesday, I now have a show with my brother on Tuesday, Sean, and I have a show with my sister on Wednesday, and I do a show myself. Plus, I do a pre-recorded tarot card introduction and pull cards for the week. And on top of that, I am starting a small series on how to let go. And the first one is actually up right now, if it's on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. Hello, Amanda, and hello, Lisa. So, Amanda, I have a question for you. You mentioned going on a paranormal site and reading about us. Would you mind, if you know the link to it, if you could send it? We'd like to have a look and maybe see if we can add advertisement to it if possible. So tonight I'm going to do this slightly different once again. I have 3 decks. They're all written by the same person, which is Cheryl Lee Harnesh. I have actually shown her cards before on the Sunday pre-broadcast or pre-recorded broadcast. And the first one is Path of the Soul. Now these cards are black with a pretty little design on the back. The next one is, and I'm doing them in order as when she did publish them, is Divine Guidance. And these cards are purple. Now, I've not used oracles very much, so that's why this is an experiment tonight, and I want to see how they work. And the last one is Return of Spirit, and these cards are blue. So what I'm going to do tonight is, as people come on, if they get to pick a color. But since it's just you, Amanda, and Lisa, I am going to pick one of each color for you and tell you what the cards represent. I'm not going to use the book. So what I'm going to do is see if I can divine. I just lied to you. I am going to use the book because one of the things I want to see is what the card represents. And number 10 here, and this is for you, Amanda, represents work. And it's sort of like looking yourself in the mirror almost. But you'll see a little difference in that there's the line that comes down this way and the line that goes up over here. So this one is work, but I think it's about working with your spirits and working, let's look. What do you really want to do in work? Are you looking at a job that is bringing you passion? Are you looking at a job that says, hey, this is where I want to wake up every morning? Because if you're not, you might want to think about going back to school and finding an opportunity where there's something new for you. The next one is the Star. And to me, this is about shining your light. And this is being proud of what you do inside of life. And the fact that you have 5 different directions inside life that you can go. So they're beginning to line up about how you need to be a mirror image of what you want to do for your life. Because if you're in a job that isn't bringing you satisfaction and you're just there because it's paying the bill, I don't know whether or not that's going to resonate with you for the rest of your life. So at which point, really have a serious look. What do you think you'd like to do for your life? And what do you have to do to get there? And the last card is innocence. And this reminds me of not tunnel vision. Okay, even though it looks a little like tunnel vision, and I'm certain there's a different meaning for this card, but the innocence of yourself, of, okay, when we compromise all the time, we lose that innocence. We lose the ability to make the choices that we feel we should be in. And also the idea of innocence makes me think of when you go into a new job and you're a little scared, you're a little hesitant, and you're going into physiotherapy, that when you go into it, it's like, oh my God, what am I doing? And just knowing that you're headed in the right direction. But Amanda, I also feel like in this particular case, I feel like you're being guided, as though someone's saying to you, you should use your healing energy. And that's the other thing about innocence, because when we heal people, we're using our natural gift as well as anything that we have learned in life. And so to me, it's really important to nourish yourself as you go forward, you do the education, and that you're bringing forward what really sounds, resonates, vibrates, whichever word you want to use, with you. And I really do feel like you are headed in the right direction. But Amanda, I also feel like you've got a guide on the other side who's saying, okay, let me help you get there. So I actually think it is a really good thing for you. Okay, Lisa, let's have a look for you. Hello, Heather number 1. So, Lisa, whoa, look at this. Something on the card. 38. This makes me think of dreams. Okay, it makes me think of the kaleidoscope of dreams, like when you're looking at something and you don't quite know what you're looking at. And I feel as though you're going down a path. Okay, so this is going to be a little sort of along the same line, but it may be family related for you, Lisa. And it could be that you're making a choice around a decision for family, and that it, again, is still picking a psychedelic type of feeling to it. So it could be a little confusing, Lisa, but I feel that as long as you're picking it in a nice way, that there is immunity for you. So I think that as you make your decision and you decide what direction you want to go in, that you're going to find that the direction has more choice for you than you anticipated. And it feels as though maybe you've got one, Lisa, you've got one family member who wants to go in one direction and another family that wants to go in another direction. Okay, so here's your choice tonight. Black, purple, pink. Which card do you want? And you get one card each. And hello, Heather. Hello, Jess. Brenda. And Brenda 1 and Brenda 2. Holly, hello. And Alicia, hello too. And okay, yeah, let's do something different. I'll pull cards for people as I'm coming down towards you, but let's talk about past lives for a minute, because Heather's bringing it up. And what I find is when I take your birth date, it normally tells me which way to go. And it shows me a direction as to what path you were in a past life. And so, but Heather, when I look at you, what I'm looking at is the need for you in a past life to always serve people. So you may have been a general in one lifetime, because I feel like there is a lot of energy around it and everything. So there is that need to serve. And one of the things people need to realize is in a past life, you're not always a female. You can be a man. You could also be an animal, and you could come back into this life as an animal. So it all depends on what you're doing. Okay, so Jess, you didn't ask for a card, but I picked birthing. And it's funny because this isn't the same idea that I would say would make me think of birthing. This is more about transformation, this card, and it's more about going into an area that maybe you're uncertain about, but it's transformation. It's about your life taking on a new dimension, and that you're going to find yourself opening up to new ideas and new queries, and you're going to expand your knowledge, Jess. Okay, Brenda, you asked, I think, for a pink one. Okay, so Brenda asked for a pink, and so did Lisa. So I'm going to do there too. Oh, so, yep, it's pink. Number 3, this is the heart card for me. Because if you look, you can, I don't know if you can see it, but there's this image of a heart right in this area here. And this is following your heart. Brenda, this is trusting your instincts. This is saying to you that that the beauty around you is something to be experienced, to be embraced, and to hold on to it. And this is for Brenda 1. It's the beauty inside that is directing you to speak no negative words about other people, but to speak the truth when you see it. And I feel like it's a very nice card for you, and that pink is all about love. It's healing energy, Brenda, and it's also a healer's card. So I would say it is about healing. Okay, Lisa, you asked for card color 2, and you said pink. This is duality, but Lisa, this is it makes me think of music. Sorry, I don't mean to be shaking the card. Of incorporating music into your life, of the sound that drives the passion and gets us up dancing, laughing, enjoying the moment. And Lisa, I sort of want to say, I'm not sure you've always enjoyed the moment. So I think it's something that you need to come forward and dance like no one's looking, like that phrase is, because it really is important. Now I'm going away from these cards because I'm not feeling the connection really tonight. So I'm going to go to a different deck of cards. And actually, you know what? I'm not going to use cards tonight. I'm going to look at your questions and just tell you what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. All right, Holly. Holly, you've asked for a card, so I will pull you a card. And I'm sort of sorry that you're feeling a little scattered, but maybe it's time to sit down and make a list of where and what you are looking for in life. But it could also be time for you to actually stop in your tracks and make a plan. This is 2 cups, so this is emotionally healing. This is coming together and allowing life to not so much guide you, but you guide a little bit of your life. So maybe it's time to sit down, Holly, and start making a plan to see what direction you want to go in. Where do you want to be? Like, where do you see your future? Do you want to make changes? And Holly, if you really want to make changes, this is the time for you to start making changes. So Alicia and Holly, it sometimes you may have to sit down a couple of days and do the writing and see if there's something you want to change, because maybe you wrote it down and afterwards you're saying, oh, it's not quite what I was looking for. So don't be afraid to make the changes if you sit down and write, because sometimes life does have to have a little bit of a change. Alicia, strength, power, owning your own wisdom and not being afraid to use it, speaking your voice, not roaring and yelling at people, but basically what you're doing is you're expressing yourself in such a creative way that people are actually stopping and going, wow. So maybe you should think, Alicia, about writing a story, because it could be even something like that. And I'm getting total goosebumps, Alicia. So I would tell you this is a grandmother, and I'm leaning to your mother's side. So grandma, great grandma, who may be giving you this information and saying, you know what, roar like a lion, but be gentle like a kitten, because all that information that's locked up inside of you may come, as as Heather one has asked about, from a past life. There may be knowledge there that you have left untapped. And by sitting down, doing a little meditation, creatively bringing your voice forward, Alicia, you may actually get noticed in such a way that you're going, oh my God, how did this happen? So one of the things I'm going to say is, like I heard, is don't roar. You can roar like a lion, but be gentle like a kitten when you're using your voice, Alicia. Okay, so Heather, I want to come back to your past lives, because as I've been talking, what I felt is you all in sort of like that, what's it called? Chain, where the people in England used to wear it. It's like chain armor. And I can see something on your arm, and in actual fact, curious whether or not you have a problem. I'm touching my left, which could be your right arm, Heather, whether you have a problem with your right arm, because I sort of feel like you weighed a sword, weighed a staff, and you may have either lost your arm in a fight, and this is, at this particular time, I don't see you as a general. I feel like you're sort of behind the ranks on a horse leading. Well, you are leading the charge, so you could be second in command. And so I would say, and okay, I'm getting the fuss sound. So like Frederick, Philip, and not thinking I'm saying it right 100%, but that's the sound I'm getting, and I would have said that was your man. That was your man. That was you as a man. Oh my goodness, I can't even speak. Okay, so Brenda number 2, you asked for a pink card too, so I will pull a pink card. This is a mantra. This is repeating something that makes you feel good, Brenda number 2. So you think of, I am a goddess and I deserve to be loved. I actually try that mantra every day. Sometimes I forget, okay? But when I look at that I am a goddess and I need to be loved, Brenda, you need to do a mantra. Number 2, Brenda. And I feel like you need to express who you truly are, but in words, not the same as Alicia, where you're writing a story. I think it's more that you express them in words as, I am positive, that you're looking at the positive energy when you make the statement. Like, I am a goddess who deserves to be loved is definitely a positive statement. All right, so for Heather, I am going to take a few minutes. She's given me her birth date, and I am going to see if I can find at least 2 past lives for her. So 611 AD, man, Joseph, male, sorry, Joseph. Okay, I see you working. You're bent over. You're probably about 17 maybe, and you're working, and I can see your hands are really dry and caked. So I would tell you that you're probably working in clay, mud, Heather number 1, something like that. And then I can go to 1610, and here you are, you're a woman, you're beautiful. Okay, you're used to being pampered, but unfortunately you seem to have fallen off a cliff there, Heather number 1. And I sort of feel like you were forced into a marriage that you were trying to get away from. And then the other time I'm getting is 1762. And this is that gentleman I was telling you about, Heather, the fuss sound. And this is a soldier, the man who was protecting. So those are 3 past lives. Now, Alicia, also gave me her birth date. So I'm just going to have a quick look for Alicia and see if I can find at least one or two past lives for you and describe it. Okay, 1014. A boy, maybe 5 years old, ragged clothes, streets of Paris, because it sounds like they're speaking French. And I see a horse and buggy coming towards you, and that's about all I'm seeing, Alicia. I don't know what happened, but I'm sort of guessing that you might have got ran over. So I'm going to say in this lifetime, Alicia, pay attention to when you are crossing the road. Now, just a minute. I want to have 811. Nope. 816. Nope. 1816. Alicia. A boy. I see birch trees. So I would say you may have lived in the country. And I'm not feeling anything. It's a Bible name. It's a Bible name. Joshua. It's a Bible name, Alicia. And I just see you like you might be about 15, maybe, by the looks of it. And you seem carefree. You're gathering leaves and stuff. So you might be looking to have, I don't know, maybe building a fire or something. Okay, Holly, how about purple? I don't have any purple cards tonight, but I'll pick you a card anyways, Holly. So let's have a look. Ooh, the star, Holly. This is about, no wonder you're saying you're a little scattered. You need to ground yourself, girl. And to do that, you're going to have to do a little meditation. And you're going to have to really sit in a bathtub, stand under a shower. If it rains, go outside, stand in the rain and ground yourself. Okay, because that's what it feels like. And so when you're saying you're scattered, I'm not surprised, because this card says ground yourself, get your fluids, go for a walk in nature, hug a tree, pick some flowers, bring them in the house. And it's about bringing the beauty with you, Holly, and embracing it. And maybe just sit down, have a cup of tea, glass of wine, bottle of beer, whichever is your poison, and just tell everyone, go do it yourself. I need some time. Okay. Because it's important. If you don't look after yourself, you are going to get scattered. You're going to feel like you're a chicken running around with its head cut off. And I actually remember having someone say that to me once, but there was a reason for it. But Holly, it is important to ground yourself. Not only are you scattered, but you have a little stress level going on there. So please try to do that. Okay, so Amanda, thank you. I did hospitality, and well, now she can release her hand and arm wrestle and move her arm a little. That is amazing, Amanda. So now you, it's like total goosebumps going through me. And you really need to know that you're heading into a position where you're going to be a natural, Amanda. So embrace it. Learn what you can, and don't be afraid to learn more as you go along. And Amanda, you gave me your birthday, so I will have a look for past lives. And oh, that's interesting. Didn't I give someone 1610 already? So Amanda, you were in 1610 too, as a boy. You may have even fought in an army by the looks of it. Very slender youth. Feel like you're always hungry. And it's like food may have been sparse for you back then, but I don't feel like food should be sparse for you in this lifetime. And then I have 888. That's really amazing. Those are really dynamic numbers to have. And I also like to say 1818 as well, and both of them are boys. So you came back in this lifetime because you wanted to be taken in a different vein, or you wanted a different vein of life, so you weren't struggling all the time, and definitely feeling as one of them, you may have been, okay, like an Army Corps man. So where where you're working in a open tent and you're fixing people up. So, and the lady that you were taking care of who had the stroke, she may have been one of your patients. And in actual fact, she may have lost her arm. So congratulations on bringing it back. Hi, Illigy. And oh, no wonder I've been having a rough day. Happy full moon, everyone. And but thank you. If you come back, Illigy, just let me know and I'll pull your card. But just in case you're listening to this later, I'm still, oh, look at that. A card came off. 1 minute, I got to get it. Illigy, this is making money. This is finding little surprises or being given gifts of little surprises. And this is like sort of exciting. It feels very happy, and that you're wherever you are now, you're doing the right thing. So be strong, be happy. Don't be afraid to go out there and howl at the moon, because I know I'm probably going to later. All right. Well, I'm glad, Holly, if you're interested in your past life, but unless you gave me a birth date and I can't remember, see, it's that fast. Now I have to quickly go up and look. Okay, so Holly, if you want to know about past lives, give me your birth date and I'll work it from there. Amanda, I already gave you some past lives, and if you missed them, you can listen again later. Alicia, thank you. I always love giving people goosebumps, and I'm glad you like to write. And don't be embarrassed about sharing, because there's something about sharing what you do that just comes back and brings joy. All right. So Alicia, be brave. And yes, it is on your mother's side, so it would be your grandma, and she is throwing a whole bunch of love at you. So be brave, she says, because I think that you can be successful in your writing. I know, forget the think. I know you can be successful in your writing, but you've got to believe in it too. Well, hello, Marwa. I'm fine. I'm hoping I said your name right. And I feel like you should be a warrior. Okay, maybe it's just your name, but it makes me feel like you need to embrace the youth inside of you and to go forward and not so much conquer, but maybe to entertain. Have you ever considered going into show business of some sort, or some way that you can be in the center or something? I'm trying to think of what I'm after here, but if it comes to me, I'll add some more to that. But I also feel as though there are times that you have a little uncertainty around you, but you are going to be brilliant in life as long as you speak your truth as well. And not the same way as I mentioned to Alicia. Yours is different. It's more like standing up for yourself, and I know that's hard, because sometimes saying that no word, and for anyone who's interested, there was a book written years ago. It's called What Part of No Don't You Understand? Now, it was written in such a way that it was supposed to be for women who were dating and didn't understand no, or for the men around them. I have read it, and it's amazing, because it did help me learning to say no. And I'm not saying every time I'm able to say no to people. I still have to say no and learn how to do it. Okay, Lisa, you gave me your birthday, so let's have a look. There's a lot of people born on the 28th of months here tonight. And okay, so I did a little program for anyone who's on now that didn't hear. It's how to let go. It's a short, brief, I think it might be 10 minutes long. It's already posted on Facebook and on YouTube. And one of the things that I do with it is that sometimes when you're writing, and Alicia and Marwa, these might be things for you to have a look at it. But there'll be a few series going out if you'd like to sort of watch everyone. And I'm giving little ideas of how to release your pain, your disappointment, sadness. And not everything's going to work for everyone or relationships. And but pick the one that works for you. And if it works for you, maybe tell someone else that may be struggling with something, and it might even help them, or they can have a look as well. Okay, so 2, 1, 6, 6, 12. 6, 12. No, I'm going to change that around, Lisa. 16, 28. 16, 28. France, Lisa, male, hearing guns and war cries going on in my head. But you're on the water, okay? So you could be coming from France, because I'm not hearing proper English. So you may be a warrior coming from France and invading England. You're invading England because I can see the White Cliffs of Dover. And I'm not sure you got off the boat. Okay, Lisa, so sorry about that. But another lifetime would take me to 11, 12. Girl. Again, French, Bulgarian, somewhere in that general area. And I feel like a girl. I feel like a country setting, like way out in the country. I see a big basket as though you're collecting vegetables. I can hear the snort of a pig. So you may have been on a farm, Lisa. And I'm certain there are other ones, but those are the only two I'm finding. Yes. Okay, I won't tell anyone. And yes, anyone should do it for themselves. It's important that we all take time to look after ourselves. Okay, anything from your Heather number 1, anything from your spirit guide, Kea? Ooh, patience is a virtue. Virtue is the first thing I'm hearing. The next thing I'm hearing is to practice acceptance, Heather, to practice saying yes, and to practice saying thank you, and not to be afraid to accept, because you're always giving. And so if you're always giving, I know personally it's hard to say thank you and to just sit there and take it. So Heather, that is what I'm hearing, is to practice acceptance. Alicia, if there is time, I would also love a card on your senses on my husband, Kevin. Okay. And okay, so Alicia, if you want to give me your husband's birth date, I can see whether or not you guys have had past lives together. Oh, your husband, Kevin's a bit of a dreamer. Okay. And dreams do come true, even though there's a lot of people that will tell you, what are you doing dreaming? I actually had a cousin once who said, why do you dream and do things? And I said, because if I didn't dream, and if people didn't dream, the will never would have been creative. And your husband, when I say he's a dreamer, I'm saying it in a positive way. Doesn't mean he's going out with some wild scheme idea. It means that he can see where he thinks he may like his future to move forward. And I think you're pretty lucky. He seems like a nice guy. Okay, well, I'm glad you are proud of her, Amanda. And Holly, you gave me your birth date. So May, okay, 8. Oh, 238 AD. Wow. This was a long time ago, Holly. You'd think you'd bring some wisdom with you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because even though we come out and there are some things we do know in this life, doesn't mean it always sinks in and we get it right the first or second or third or fourth try. So when I'm looking at this and I get 1381, I would say in both cases you were female, Holly. Very gentle, kind, probably in a position of servant by feels of things because I feel like there's a burden on your back. So it may even just be something that you brought forward in this lifetime. So I am going to say, please take the time, sit down, and look after yourself. Hello, Penelope. How are you? I am randomly pulling cards and just saying whatever pops into my head. And, oh, the 8 of coins. This is making money, Penelope. And so those of you who are not aware, and those of you who are, Penelope is my sister. She was on with me last night, and she will be on every Wednesday, 6:30 Pacific time, and which is 7:30 Albertan time. And so if you'd like to be there and have her pull cards for you too, or just talk, she will be there as well. Okay, so Penelope, this is the creator. This is the person who looks to how do I make that money? How do I put the money away so that it can go into this little bag and I can put it over here until I get to where I want to be? So Penelope, I do believe that you're going to be making money, putting some away for a rainy day, and that you're going to actually be quite happy with where that money takes you. Oh, thank you, Amanda. We will look at that later. And Christy. Hello, Christy. How are you? So you gave me a birth date, so I will have a look. But Christy, I have a message from a gentleman who's around you. And he's saying that to repeat, abundance is mine, abundance is mine, abundance is mine. And now when I look at abundance, I'm not just talking money, I'm talking the whole kit and caboodle, life. I'm talking happiness. I'm talking where you want to live, your job, everything. So Christy, a gentleman is telling me to tell you that. So I am putting it out there. Now I'd like to put a JG sound to his name. So, and just so you know, he's dead. And so it could be Joseph, John, James, Jim, Jeff, Jordan, Gordon, Gary, Jerry, Greg, and it could be a last name. Okay, so just so you know, but you gave me your birth date, so I'll give you a couple of past lives too. And just takes me a minute. I have to do a little math first. Wow, a few of you were born in 1610. So maybe you guys all fought in, no, some of you fought in a war, maybe opposite of each other, all men. And it could be that there is a strong connection to being, not masculine in this lifetime. And I don't mean like being a man or anything like that. I mean, but in joining the two energies together so that you can have that combination, the success that a lot of men seem to get more so than we as women. And I'm not a women liver. I'm just stating a fact here, at least the fact I see it as. So 1610, which says to me that the two of you were together in a war and that you were together with another lady here. I'm trying to find her name. I think it was, who was the first lady? It might have been Amanda, but I'm not sure. Anyways, I see you as a man in a past life, and I feel you were very strong, very determined to get to where you wanted to be. And I also feel as though, Christy, that you're a strong person in this lifetime and that you're going to find yourself getting stronger and stronger. Now, the other time I have is 4/26/80. And again, I have you as a man. And I feel like you're moving forward, that you're making changes. You may have been like what I would refer to in a political situation at that time, because I see notes being handed to you. And it's very likely that you may have had a connection to a religious organization then too as well, Christy. But I really feel like somehow you've brought home this time a deep-rooted belief that what you put yourself into, what energy you use, brings towards you what you need in this life. All right. Okay, so Alicia, you gave me yours, 7, 18, 80. Wow, again. Alicia, you're another person who fought in 1610. So, but in this particular case, I'm not 100% sure you were a man because I feel like a skirt. So it could be you disguised yourself as a man so that you could fight. And I feel like that energy is around you. So it could be something you're still going to do in this lifetime, but in a more fundamental way. One that, what am I looking for? One that has you not preaching to the choir, but explaining to the choir. Okay. And the other thing too is that I also have 971. And again, Chrissy, religious organization, male this time, because I see you standing there with what I would call doctrine. So just out of curiosity, Christy, do you have a really religious belief foundation, or are you more spiritualist? I'm just sort of curious. And for Christy, but Alicia, same thing. Because when I'm looking at this and I look over at Christy's numbers, you guys could have been in the same coven at one time. Even though I'm pretty sure you don't know each other, there is a connection. Okay, and that's how spirit works. Everyone who comes into my life this lifetime, I've met somewhere else. Not just my brothers and sisters and my nieces and everyone and cousins, but everyone who comes to me as a client, I have met them somewhere else in another lifetime. Okay, so Heather, you're going to have to give me your birth date again because it's sort of scrambled up here. And if I go back up, I lose my train of thought. And I sort of felt like your husband was alive. So if you don't mind giving that to me, I can compare and see if I can find connections between you and your past life, or between the two of you. Jeanette, hello, how are you? Your birthday, and I can give you a couple of past lives with it. First of all, one of your past lives would have been during I'm going to say 1932, 1933. You might have been 5 years old, and it's during wartime, it feels like, so I might have my age out there a little bit. But I would have said that you had died at a very young age and possibly very traumatically. But I'm not feeling the energy stuck in you, so I would say it's energy that's moved on into a different area. And the other portion of it is that I feel as though I feel like this lifetime that you're growing from it, Jeanette. Okay. You've got a lot of 7s, so very lucky numbers, like Lady Luck, Lucky 7 sort of idea. But 1423 is the one date that is standing out the strongest, other than the short, brief life you had. And this one is definitely in a position of power. And there's all these people around you that are listening to you, Jeanette. And so maybe I'm going to say to you too that you need to write, because this feels like you're voicing an opinion. Probably got in trouble for voicing your opinion at that time, but I feel like you're very assured of who you are. So it may be time for you to speak that voice and bring it to the forefront. Okay, so Heather, I'm going to quickly look down and see I need your birth date, Heather, again. So if you could put your birth date back there, and Alicia, I will have a look for you and your husband as well, and you just gave me yours, and that's how fast my memory goes. Okay, so Alicia, and you said your husband's, okay, so this is what happens when I go back up. I get lost. Okay, so I'm going to do Heather first, and then Alicia, I'll have a look at you and your husband. All right, so right now, Heather, I've got 1 year, and I'm looking at different roles. So you're the man, he's the female. I'm sort of looking at 219. That is the year I'm looking at. And then I have, oh, look at that. I have 1610 too. So there's 2 years, again, male, and this would be brothers, definitely brothers, not just brothers in arms, but brothers. And then let's see, 991. Oh, 9 and 991. That's another year I have for you, Heather. So again, brothers, living in the same house, and definitely came back to in this lifetime. I think more to celebrate the union between two people who may have loved each other in a past life and never had an opportunity to express the life in a past. All right, Alicia, your husband. Just a minute. You just... Okay, Alicia, if that's your husband's birthday. Okay, so Alicia, I have 2 birthdays. Are you guys born the same day? If you could answer that question. And yes, I hope that answered your questions. Amanda, your husband. And just a minute. 309. Okay, just hold on a minute. I am going to slip right back up here because I just read for told Amanda something. So, and Amanda, honey, would you give me your birth date as well? I've got your husband's there. If you can give me your birth date again, I know you've given it to me, but I'm scribbling all over a piece of paper. You have a great night as well, Heather, and I hope to see you again soon. And I hope the weekend is fantastic and you have a great one and you get some relaxation. All right. Past lives are interesting because a lot of people think that in a past life that they, how do I put it? That they should always be a female, they should always be a male, that there shouldn't be any difference between now and then, but there is. So just keeping that in mind. I mean, I've had so many past lives being male and female, and I ran with Kingdis Kong. And yeah, I really did enjoy it. So it does make it interesting. And sometimes when we come together with someone, it's not always a case that we're coming back to the same person. We could be headed into a new relationship. Okay, so just give me a second. I am going to look at Amanda and her husband. So one past life, male. and not married, male, but there's a little girl around you. Might be if you have a baby sister, it could have been your baby sister, because there seems to be a triangle between the 2-3 of you. And then the other one I had was, oh, look at that. 2016, the two of you were married, Amanda, in a past life together. So really strong connection between the two of you. And I would say you're back in this life for a reason. Okay. So, Alicia, your birthday is the first one. I'm going to take it. And your husband, Kevin, is the second one. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So what I'm looking at is, okay, past life together, 611. So there's been a strong connection between the two of you, and I feel like you were married in this lifetime, but I feel like it was a short marriage. And then I get 789, and again married in that lifetime. So interesting that you two decide to come back and get married again, Alicia. So just so you know, 2 past lives that I'm picking up on. Well, oh, Jeanette, you would be interested to hear if you could try to do my boyfriend. Okay. All right. Hold on 1 second and I will have a look. And if anyone else has any questions, otherwise, Jeanette's going to be the last person I look at again for a connection to partner. And okay. One of the things I found is that people born between 80 and 1995, possibly 97, there have been bouts of little depression and stuff around them. And this could be very likely because they're people that have died during the Hitler's time. And they've come back into this life, and because they had such a short life or a rough experience then, that they're trying to make up things in this life. And sometimes they, in the process of doing it, and this is what Spirit told me years ago with my daughter, that it's not a case that they can't survive. It's a case that they're afraid to survive sometimes. That because now they come forward and people that they knew in a past life, that they're not able to connect to them in this lifetime. And when I look at that, I think about the sorrow that must have been felt and the hardness to come back and to realize, to not really know what happened to all those people they loved in the past. So I put a lot of energy work out for people between 1980 and 1995 into 97, putting the energy out that they'll heal and they'll become less anxious, afraid, and that they don't get trapped in their own emotions. Okay, so Jeanette, I'm looking at you and your husband, or your partner, I should say, and just a minute. 23, 10. So 1023, one life, sister. So you lived in the same house. It looks like there's a lot of flowers, a lot of happiness, bright colors. I would take you possibly to, oh, no, I don't have Australia. It's not that hot. I would tell you probably Wales, somewhere like that. And then another lifetime I would take you to is 1310. And I would say that it was more a forbidden love. that it was something, Jeanette, you weren't supposed to have together, but it was definitely there. Okay, so my last question from Jake Garida. I hope I said that right. He wants to know next relationship will be actually is Anastasia. I'm taking that's a person you're talking about, not Taurus itself. Is that your next relationship? It's going to take a little work. Okay. And one of the things about the relationship is I'm going to say you can't make the person fall in love. They have to want to fall in love. And if you are patient, if you are kind, and you treat with gentleness, I absolutely feel that you can have the next relationship with Anastasia, and that their communication skills is something that's really going to have to be important inside this relationship for it to work. All right, folks, I want to thank everyone for coming on tonight, and I really appreciate all the energy you give me to be able to do the show, because if you didn't, I probably would have slagged a long time ago. And it's funny because I'm going to share something that I pulled for myself before the show started. It's called commitment. Okay, and I did cheat. I looked it up. And what it talks about is going into something and making a promise to do it. And when you make the promise, this is a promise you have to keep. It's going to be hard work. It's not going to be simple. There's going to be challenges along the way. But you're up to the challenges. You're able to face the demons that are inside of you and outside of you. And this card was the card I picked, and I was going to state it at the beginning, but I think it's really appropriate to state it at the end for everyone to hear this. We are all going to face challenges in our life, be them big, small, or in between. And as long as we believe in ourselves, we are going to get through those challenges. I love all of you. I hope nothing but happiness, and I put you all in my prayers, and I hope that joy, happiness, and love finds you all in mysterious ways this week. Blessed be.